Hello YouTube, I'm Toby. Today we're taking a look at the Nvidia GeForce GTX260. This particular model is made by ASUS and features a beautiful warrior princess on the face of the card. Before we get into benchmarking, let us get to know this card. It was made in 2008, so it's definitely not new. And the specs of the card are as follows. It has 192 CUDA cores. The core clock is a mere 576 MHz. It only has 896 megabytes of VRAM. However, I suspect that this card can utilize system RAM as VRAM if need be. The TDP of this card is 182 watts, so it runs quite hot. The recommended power supply for this card is 500 watts. You can go lower than this. The PSU I used in the testing was around 400 watts, and I didn't seem to run into any stability issues. And you will need a two 6-pin power connectors to run this card. Time for benchmarks. In Firmark I used preset 720p, which yielded a result of 1,223 points, which is about what I expected from this card. I also ran the Resident Evil 6 benchmarking tool. I like this tool since it gives a nice idea of how well this card will perform. Our final score was 5,377 points. I am personally very impressed with this old card, managed to get such a good score in this benchmark. On to Counter-Strike Global Offensive. The frame rate seemed to be a little unstable. It seemed to be jumping between 25 and 150 frames per second. However, this may just be because of this map. This is a map I made myself, and even my GTX 1070 sometimes drops frames in it. Subnautica is next. The frame rate seems to hover between 40 and 60 frames per second, depending on the complexity of the surrounding textures. Last benchmark is No More Room in Hell. You see a frame rate jumping between 50 and 200 frames per second. The game is definitely playable, but the instability is kind of weird. If you like this game, it's free on Steam, just FYI. So, is this card worth getting? No, not really. It'll do fine for a home theater PC, or if you just like playing around with old hardware. If you are planning on building a budget gaming PC, it's definitely better to save up for something more modern. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching.